This part of the session will start with the panel discussion, the first panel of the morning. This is being hosted by Debu Mohanty. He is the CEO of MMA Vietnam, and he and his esteemed panelists are going to talk about mobile, the all-in-one medium, making sure they are able to help answer and discuss some challenges of mobile being the centerpiece of all business ecosystem. And Debu and his panelists will help address what really are the challenges of making mobile an integral part, not only of the marketing mix or the advertising, but of an ecosystem which is business by itself. Because every business, advertising, marketing, sales, all are part of a core business that every industry or every organization drives. So we will hear from the panelists on their thoughts of what the challenges are and what are the possible solutions. So with that, let me introduce Debu Mohanty, who will further introduce his panelists. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Before we break for lunch, the first panel discussion, I will call out the names of the panelists. The panel discussion will be on mobile, the all-in-one medium. And we have the first panelist, Chan Chui Chi, Vice President, Personal Care, Unilever, Vietnam. May I request Chi to come over? Andrea Santos, Top Account Director, Out There Media. Andrea. We have Tran Huang, Executive Vice Chairman, Vietnam Marketing Association. And Tran Nguyen Thinh Bung, Founder and Chairwoman, Sunflower Media Group. You know, there's a Chinese saying which goes that, which says, may we live in interesting times. This is one of the most interesting times in Vietnam media, and we are very happy to be part of it. The business leaders, the key marketers, they're all talking about now, new, and next media. We, possibly everyone here agrees that mobile is the next medium. But do we all agree that it's the all-in-one medium? I would first ask Hung for her views on this. The all-in-one medium, mobile. Hung, please.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for giving me the chance to be here and discuss with everybody and my view on mobile marketing and the role of mobile phone in our current society. Mobile phone is something like a new, it is a new scene in our society. I remember some 15 years ago, I had a huge Nokia, a brick, and whenever I went around, I had that big thing in my hand, and I was so proud to show off to everybody. And just 15 years, and now it's nothing special. Everybody has one. And we're talking about not only feature phone, but now smartphone, iPhone, Android, everything. It becomes a phenomenon in our society. And the figures say that 75% of people going out of home now with the mobile phone. Whenever we are awake, we are with our mobile phone. So how our marketers use that? We all say that in every conference, we say that we need to use the mobile phone, we need to focus on it. But how have we done that? I think that we talk a lot, but we haven't done that. Because we, for example, we are in the media. We publish magazines, we are famous for Tiếp Thị Gia Đình and several other publications in the market. And we have experience in working with clients, with retailers, but we haven't seen much appearing on the mobile phone. Even we try to talk, but nobody really pay attention to that one yet. So I hope that in this discussion, we can discuss about the importance of mobile phone nowadays.
Actually, do we actually see mobile as the all-in-one medium?
Yeah, thank you, Debu, for the question. I would say, like I shared earlier this morning, mobile adaptation has been faster, 3 times faster than the desktop application adoption. So definitely mobile will be a very important medium. I would not say all-in-one, because there's nothing in this world can survive alone. So I would say it could be becoming, in the past we always have ideas started with traditional media, and then mobile is like a following and nice to have. But more and more as we see mobile becoming so fast, adaptation, mobile could become the lead medium as well. So it changed. The past, traditional, then digital, then mobile. We can actually have a mobile-driven idea. And in fact, the case study that I shared with you this morning, the Clear Micro Vietnam, that idea was actually started from a mobile-driven idea. We actually started with the mobile apps. And then we're using other channels on how we can put together, becoming a powerful platform. So that's how I see it. Thanks.
Thanks, Chi. I would request Mr. Hoang to also give his views. Mr. Hoang will be speaking in Vietnamese.
So, good morning everybody. Permit me to speak in Vietnamese. Regarding our topics, mobile, the all-in-one, tôi xin phép mà nhìn góc độ là nhà tiếp thị và các cái business owner để xem trong cái thế giới phức tạp này thì các doanh nghiệp, đặc biệt là doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ của Việt Nam, chúng ta sẽ xây dựng cái hạ tầng tiếp thị trong cái kỷ nguyên số và mobile như vậy. Cho nên cái vế đầu tiên, cái từ mobile thì tôi xin tiếp cái ý chị Tuệ Tri sáng nay. Chính xác nó sẽ làm smart mobility, tức là toàn bộ hệ thống về truyền thông tiếp thị của các doanh nghiệp sẽ phải hướng theo này. Và người ta đang đầu tư rất nhiều về trí tuệ và công nghệ cho nó. Cái vế thứ hai là the all-in-one medium, thì theo tôi nghĩ là nếu mình nói all thì doanh nghiệp người ta sẽ không biết bắt đầu từ đâu, bắt đầu như thế nào. Thì tôi thấy nó có 4 cái chữ C để nó hội tụ gọi là conversion 4.0. Thì cái chữ C thứ nhất là content, nói gì thì nói, chúng ta phải có cái nội dung hay, hấp dẫn, thú vị, hứa hẹn. Cái chữ C thứ hai nó là cái connection và nó là cái search, thì các doanh nghiệp của mình đã chuẩn bị cái này như thế nào. Thứ ba là cái communication, là tất cả những kênh truyền thông, trong đó social media đứng cái vị trí trung tâm. Thì còn cái thứ tư quan trọng nhất mà bên anh Viettel có đề cập là cuối cùng là mình phải bán hàng. Cái commercial đó thì hiện nay chúng ta nhìn thấy vào hệ thống doanh nghiệp Việt Nam thì rất đáng lo ngại. Lý do chúng ta đề cập đến cái chuyện này là bởi vì cách đây 2 tuần, báo Kinh tế công bố như vậy là có 230.000 doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ Việt Nam đang báo lỗ về thuế, và có khoảng 54.000 doanh nghiệp nữa phá sản nợ nần. Vậy thì những cái chúng ta đang xem ngày hôm nay tôi thấy nó là đỉnh cao. Thứ hai là cộng đồng chuyên gia marketing hầu như là hội tụ nơi đây, nhưng còn một khoảng cách quá lớn đối với cộng đồng doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ. Làm thế nào để định hình được cái chiến lược để xây dựng được cái hạ tầng để truyền thông tiếp thị cho doanh nghiệp thì cũng là cái vấn đề mà chúng ta đang đặt ra ngày hôm nay. Các marketer, các business owner sẽ giải quyết cái vấn đề này như thế nào?
Andrea.
Save the best for last, they say. Just kidding. Well, my answer to that, essentially, I feel is a yes and no answer. Yes, meaning mobile can solve various communication needs across the consumer funnel. Like from the involved stage, from the act stage, from the all throughout. The fact of the matter is, although I feel that mobile can solve various scenarios across the purchase decision funnel, it shouldn't act in isolation, to your point. I just feel that this whole buzzword, omnichannel, of which people say nowadays, talking about the universal and constant interaction with the consumer makes things work. I feel that the mix of all of those, the right choice of the right channels, and having mobile front and center when it comes to answering a particular brand objective should always be taken into consideration. It shouldn't be a bold statement saying that mobile is the all-in-one medium. It should always be taken into consideration as a fact of it is integral to the consumer purchase decision funnel, and it should be taken as such.
Okay, I see all the panels basically accepting here that TV still is the lead medium and remains the lead medium so far. I understand that. But one important thing which she also mentioned, it does have the potential to be the lead medium. And as I hear from Andrea also, it is important to see that mobile is not used as a standalone. It needs to be supported well when we are putting together a communication plan. The next important thing which everybody would like to understand is today, what is the industry or the marketers or the business owners, when we see that it's a data-driven industry, are actually looking for from mobile as a data point in order to adapt or adopt mobile as the next advertising medium. Do you?
Very good questions.
Thanks.
I don't think I have an answer for that, but I just share my thoughts. I mean, mobile marketing industry is very recent. Yeah? I mean, and this is something that we have to do and learn and adopt, and a lot of, passion and belief has to go into it. But what I believe, one of the things that we struggle the most as a marketeers is why we are embracing the new thing. How do we know that it is effective enough? And right now, you would agree with me that the information and the data about mobile is so many, right? It's so many all over. We look at, even when I ask my team, what is a KPI for your mobile marketing campaign? We will have so many KPIs. Click rate, so many things. But the standard one that we used to familiar with, which is so many years with traditional media, for example, TV, CPRP, is something that we're very familiar with. I think we're not able to create something that is well accepted across the industry, with everyone a common language. We don't have that yet with mobile marketing. So I believe we have to, and the whole industry, all the different players, partners, suppliers, clients, everything, should invest in the way we look at mobile marketing, the KPIs, the technology, so that we have a common way to look at that. So that's how I would say. That I think is the most struggle we as a marketing.
Andrea.
Very good question, and a little bit hard to answer, but I will give it a try. I just feel that effectiveness of mobile, again, yes, it should really stem from the industry. Conventions need to be set. Just a quick example, we had a brief recently, and I just won't name the agency anymore, but they were asking us questions like publication deadline, delivery date. It's very, how do I say, it's very BTL, very print in terms of objectives and setting. The thrust really should come from the industry, the belief, and that strong push on education. Education is always key. So also in terms of convention setting, it also depends on the brand objective, where you are in that purchase funnel. I keep on always mentioning that. KPIs should always stick to what it is. It's a key performance indicator. Anything under that is a metric. So we should set one, for example, across the funnel, there should be a particular KPI set across that, and a particular secondary metric or metrics corresponding that particular purchase decision funnel. correspondence.
Mr. Huan.
Về câu hỏi này thì tôi có một cái cảm nhận rất là mộc theo góc nhìn của doanh nghiệp, là trong cái thế giới thông tin rất đầy ắp như vậy thì cái mà chúng tôi thường xem và thường dành nó cái vị trí đặc biệt trong thời gian gần đây là cái khảo sát về cơ thể học 3D, một cái dự án rất là hay cho phép chúng ta xem được tất cả mọi bộ phận của con người. Thì tôi nghĩ đây là một trong những cái định hướng thông tin tuyệt vời, và nó có thể đi vào hàng chục nghìn các cái trường học hệ thống giáo dục. Theo tôi quan niệm trong cái thế giới thông tin phức tạp như vậy thì đó là những cái content có sức hút rất là lớn lao, hoặc là một cái dự án mà Viettel đã triển khai cho khoảng hơn 5.000 cái trường học về cái phần mềm và quản trị. Thì theo tôi đó là những cái content là giá trị về mặt chiến lược để các cái doanh nghiệp có thể suy nghĩ về cách tiếp cận.
Normally, my favorite saying is, I'm not working in the media, I'm working in the information industry. For years, we've been used to working with information, so now data is nothing new for us. But data nowadays is so different from the old time. It's huge. It's so huge that it's so difficult to organize them. And if we don't organize data, then data is just data. It has no value. And now we are talking about mobile phone, and the mobile phone gives us the opportunity to get more data than ever. We know the people's name, the people's age, their habit, the location, what they like, what they don't like. And how can we organize data into something that we can use it? It's not easy. Very easy to say, oh, big data, huge data. Now this is a trend to say big data. But what do we use with big data? It can be very costly. And if we want to use data, we must make sure that we invest a lot into that to be able to exploit this data to make it useful for us.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Hung. One of the key points which I just noted, as a moderator, I have my views as well, is one, purchase decision. It's important to understand the purchase decision of a consumer, and we know how to use the media to reach them. The other one is about data. When we are saying data, data is just data. It's important to understand what is the data required in order to make that consumer take an action. It's so important that first we understand from the advertiser's point of view, who's trying to reach that consumer, to understand that what is the action they expect from the consumer. If that action is understood well, then it is the next step. As a next step, it is important for us to understand that which is the medium which can help the marketer to generate that response from the consumer. So that data understanding is more important and more relevant for the advertiser, because advertiser is putting in money, and at the end of the day they will all look for return on investment. And if we know that mobile is a very personalized medium and can basically help the consumer to take that desired response which the marketer has, it is important to understand that what is the end result the marketer is expecting from the consumer. I will go to the next question, which I think many people are also interested in. Kantar Media pointed out that the top demos using mobile are in between 20 to 29. How do you think the other demos will receive this medium in the future? G, would you like to take that?
Yeah. So the question is, how do we see the other demographics beyond the 20 to 29? See this, right? Okay, that will bring me into this thinking of innovation diffusion. Innovation diffusion means we always have the innovators, the early adopters, the majority, and the laggers. Yes, the 20 to 29 years old people will be the innovators and the early adopters for this mobile marketing. But it will not stop there. They will be creating the whole trend, the whole adaptation across the demographics. Of course, for different ages, you will see a different adaptation rate and engagement. Actually, I have seen that, my mom, who's actually already, crossing 60s, she is now spending more of her time in her tablet.
She's inspired by the daughter as well.
I know, maybe think about it, she is finding this is actually a great time for her. So what I'm saying is, we definitely see this transition across the demographics, but important for us is to understand their needs, their lifestyle, and then how we can engage with them. So it's not stopped at the 20 or 21 years old.
So it depends on how we engaging with the consumer and are also growing up with them. Paul, I would like to have your response as well.
Yesterday, I had the chance to be with Mr. Thành to attend the 4th Global CEO Conference in Singapore. And I had the chance to listen to David Wise, the co-founder of Alibaba. And one sentence he said, which I like very much. He talked about the scenery in China, and I think it's very close to Vietnam. He said the internet generation started only in the year 2000. Before that, there was no real internet. And so all the children born after 1985 are the generation for internet and of course for phones. So that's why it's easy to see why Qantas media see the majority of mobile phone users to be between the age of 20 and 29. This generation is very different from the people born before 1985, where people wasn't used to television and print and other form of media. But now, look at the young kids. We see that they go around with their phone. Before they make any decision of purchase, they ask their friends. They go onto internet to check out the price, the information, ask around their friends. Mostly their friends, they don't listen to adults. They don't listen to the mass media as before, but they ask their friends. And if their friends say, oh, that's a great product, I like it, then they decide to buy. And if they say, oh, that's not good, and even they don't base on any figures, any data, they say, oh, my friend say it's not good, so it's not good, and they don't buy. So that's why it's so important for us to tap onto this market, how to persuade the young generation to believe in our brands, to of course, and from the trust in the brand, it leads to commerce, it leads to final results, and that's the job of the marketers.
Mr. Wang, ladies first.
Well, I just feel that age is just a number. Age, although year on year we evaluate adaptations or adoptions of particular media, for now the younger age group is picking up in terms of the mobile adoption. However, as the middle class constantly grows, economies constantly boom, infrastructure is slowly built, especially in the telco industry. The older age groups, and even in some matters the younger age groups, not even the tweens, the kids nowadays, adoption of technology is just so prevalent. So the task nowadays, right now, is really how do you harness that? How do you constantly grow that adoption? And essentially sort of cross that trigger to encourage all of this growing age group to constantly educate and encourage, regardless of the age group's usage of this. But again, beyond adaptation, which is controlled by that age group, it's also the market scenario, the adaptability and the willingness for people and the government and the private sector to invest in this, to encourage people to use this particular medium.
Thanks, Andrea. Suzanne? You don't want to have your views on that. No, I will go to the another overwhelmingly popular question, which is for Unilever, which is again the leading advertiser in this market. What is Unilever's strategy for mobile advertising in the future? I don't want you to reveal your spends. That's fine. That's not required. But how much? What is the expectation? What is your expectation for 2015? How are you going to basically see mobile in your strategy?
I think if you attend my first talk, I think you understand where we are. So definitely mobile marketing is very important and is integrated in our strategy. We always want to be the pioneer and the responsible mobile marketing advertising. So we will explore, we'll do, but we also together join with all the key stakeholders to build this mobile marketing industry. So yes, it's important. How much we spend, maybe I'm not able to tell you how much we spend, but I just tell you that it's increasing a lot, right? So that is enough. But it's important, we investing in it, and that's why we actually here today. And like this morning I talked about, we are looking at mobile phone not just as a device, but we're moving to mobility, to mobilization. So that is where we're heading. I hope that answered the questions.
In the interest of time, I will now actually ask one quick question home. What would you suggest or have some immediate suggestion for the industry to help bring about a rapid transformation? Couple of thoughts.
As we said, the young people are the main user of mobile phones. So when we tap into mobile phone marketing, mobile marketing, we have to understand what they want. And from the media, what we observed recently, we see that the people don't want to read much anymore. Maybe not only the young people, but also all of us. Nowadays, we are overloaded with information, so we don't want to read. The text culture has passed. Now it comes to the next, the culture of visual, of pictures. Until now, we still see advertisers coming up with the kind of traditional advertising campaign, like one for everything. And we have the problem all the time. We try to persuade the advertiser, please don't. For each platform, you need to have a different form of marketing, of advertising. 30 seconds of advertising on television stays there. Now onto online, you need 5 seconds video. You cannot go for more than 10 seconds because people don't pay attention to it anymore. But then we still receive TVC for 30 seconds for online advertising. And then what else? Now come into mobile phone. We said visual, visual, visual. Please, no text. Very short. Recently, you see the success of a website called HiVL, the famous case that recently the license was revoked. But why were they so successful? Everything was picture. And then just some very short text, some conversation, and that's it. That's what the young people like nowadays. And so if we want to get close to the young consumers, we have to do the same, sing their language. Don't force them to read. And we can also see that visual culture everywhere with selfie. Now we all talk about selfie. All the young people go around and then they have the mobile phone, and now they even have the stick for selfie, make nicer photos. So how can you exploit that? And so we just suggest one thing, there is no more all-in-one marketing form. You have to, if we want to achieve the same result, we have to work a lot, not like before. We have to give each platform a different thing.
In short, don't do mobile for the sake of doing mobile. please understand the consumer, please see what they are wanting to do, and then basically weave around an activity around the mobile platform. Andrea, quick views.
For mobile to be picked up and adapted much better, especially in Southeast Asia, particularly in Vietnam, is the fact that what we need to do is to have discussions like these. We have to have firm mobile mavens who can constantly talk about the media and explain it with gravitas and clarity. That's one bit. Another bit is essentially testing and learning. Unilever is quite successful across various regions. It's all about repeatable models, not necessarily repeating it to the T, but learning from what the best experiences were across that digital mobile experience and applying it into the region, but first and foremost understanding how the consumers behave in that market, what are their hot buttons, what are their consumer paths in a day-to-day. By understanding, again, what was done in other markets and understanding the nuances in the local region, I feel would make the adaptability of mobile in general easy and seamless.
Thank you so much. Thank you all, Mr. Huang, Hong, Andrea, and Tri, for this lively discussion. Over to you.